everyone. This is Calvin Henry Miller, and today I'm going to talk about the effects of pollution on marine life and how it affects our world. In today's consumer-driven society, it is easy to constantly consume and discard waste in products without ever considering where they might end up. There are tons of toxic waste products and plastics in particular where they end up in various means of disposal suffocating our oceans. The goal today is to identify some of these ways, the effects of plastic pollution, and how we can mitigate the harm from moving forward. The the consequences. Plastic is everywhere in our world. As you can see from this picture here, it's not just in sewers. Plastic litters our beaches all across the world. According to an NOAA, the top the top marine debris items include cigarettes, cigarette filters, plastic bags, food wrappers, containers, caps, beverage bottles, straws, and paper bags. These wastes are all over our beaches, as you can clearly see. Plastic bottles. As on land, the effects of plastic on marine can be felt all across the nation. Studies reveal that around 12.7 million tons of plastic waste are washed into the ocean every year. The more people waste plastic, the more poisonous our water becomes. When a person leaves plastic in the water, it causes pollution. Water pollution is basically dirty water. It can cause health problems, kills fish, and makes severe messes of land as well. It has several effects on society in both land and sea, combined with ecological and sociological economic effects, entanglement, toxicological effects via ingestion of plastics, suffocation, starvation, dispersal, and rafting of organisms, provision of new habitats, and introduction of invasive species that are significant to ecological effects, with growing threats to biodiversity and trophic relationships, degradation as well. And modifications to marine systems are associated with loss of ecosystem services and values. These are toxins that can make lots of people sick and cost lives. It can also affect our land. According to an article with GGN, Durasi, and GDM, JDM, I don't know how to pronounce that. The plastic pollution is also an unprecedented and continuous accumulation of growing threat contaminants into every prospective aquatic ecosystems by the heterogenic sources that cause direct or indirect interruption of ecosystem structure, functions, and consequently services and values. Land-based and sea-based are primary sources of these contaminants in various modes into entering the ocean. Toxins can cause diseases to kill people or cause permanent damage to the human body. These diseases are spread by unsafe water, including malaria, gonorrhea, and typhoid. These diseases can cause severe problems to your health. Cholera causes severe vomiting, diarrhea. Diarrhea causes germs, and that causes garrharias and intestinal infection. And typhoid causes high fever, diarrhea, and vomiting. Each of these three diseases can cause severe damage to the body, whether it be temporarily or permanently. In the ocean, fish are constantly dying from decomposed poisonous plastic. Without some fish, humanity's food supply could be challenged. It could also be a contaminant to the animals, whether bacteria. Author Ben Harvey, assistant professor at a university, um, said discarded plastic and drinking bottles have become a common sight in our oceans and are causing different types of bacteria. It's also predicted that raised CO2 levels will cause significant changes in bacterial colonies and further affect species. To see these as beneficial species dwindling while harmful species thrive is an obvious concern in the present and future. Now let's continue. The future, if future endeavors, if this situation is left unchecked, people will become sick. A fish could completely die, causing a food shortage. It could also create new diseases. One article stated, unless this action specifically is taken soon to address this urgent problem, the scientists predicts that the weight of the ocean plastics will exceed the combined weight of all the fish in the seas by 2050. The world will be ruined beyond repair for years to come if this issue is left unchecked. The only way to stop this is to recycle and stop leaving plastic everywhere. Now, how can pollution affect the land, you ask? Water pollution can affect the land as well, and because it affects our plants and our ecosystem. There are so many countries where waste management systems still don't function properly. Trash is simply dumped in the forest and used in unused lands in streams or lagoons. There are three islands called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is overrun by plastic and are extremely toxic. Other names are the Trash Vortex Guiana, and they are located in North Pacific Oceans and are larger than the state of Texas. There are also garbage patches like in India and Atlantic Oceans. These patches are defined as containing a higher amount of plastic as compared to the surrounding oceans. To date, 5 patches in total have been discovered. These islands have thousands of plastics stored on them, which makes them poison to our oceans. In other words, the sources of water pollution, used water and wastewater are other sources of contamination. It comes from our sinks, showers, and toilets, and basically our sewage, and from commercial, industrial, agricultural activities, think of metal solvents and sludge. Although big spills often dominate our headlines, consumers amount a vast majority of oil spills in our seas, including oil and gasoline drips from millions of cars and trucks every day. While ocean is a great source of fuel, it's also a great source of pollution. Oh, and radioactive is also a major source of pollution. It is any pollution that emits a radiation beyond what is naturally released by the environment. Is deadly if ingested. Now, how can we stop this from happening? Plastic is the big problem in our waters. In order to fix this, and prevent a possible catastrophe, we need to remove plastic from both our land and our seas. Here's what we could do. Consider eliminating the use of single-use plastic and adopting eco-friendly, sustainable, and alternative. Simple things like reusable grocery bags and glass plastic cups and reusable straws can also make a difference long term. It's important to note that while these small changes can reduce plastic waste, these alternatives can also carry their own footprint. Ridding our waters of plastic will allow for clean water to drink, our own ocean life, and to have safe and free habitat. Establish a tracking system to monitor the waste, establish a collection site, and improve the overall efficiency of the collection process. Also, extensive work in sewage drainage networks will be complement to the project. Oh, and we also need to constantly recycle every day. To reuse plastic is throwing away a simple solution. These are all the works cited pages of all the stuff I've used. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I'll see you later.